just joining us in the studio, it's Mr. Derrick Stroup.
Yeah.
Derrick.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi,
Good
Derrick.
to see you, Derrick.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. Hailing from Harvest, Alabama.
Yeah, originally that's the starting point there, right outside of Huntsville, about 20 minutes.
Did you go to high school there?
Yeah, I did.
What your team were the Fighting what?
Well, I don't know if there was much fighting because we were the Senators.
They never fight.
Yeah, it was a tough mascot, especially in a land full of tigers and bears and dragons. We were the Senators. Yeah,
I don't feel bad. I was a prepper.
Before it meant...
prepper meant, storing ammunition and water. as Al will tell you, it meant that we had Madras football uniforms.
I was like a prepper. Y'all run out of the bunker to start the game. I like that.
Now, you're a big guy. Were you a football player in high school?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up in Alabama. You don't have a choice. But yeah, I grew up playing a lot of football, a lot of basketball. I was a tight end back in the day.
Got them soft hands.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh. In Alabama, there's not much of a choice, but yeah, love it.
Now, are you a married guy, single guy? I've never met.
I recently, this past year, I got engaged for the first time, so that's exciting. I've been 40 years old. I've been on the run for a while, so
she finally caught you.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting. We get married here in a month, but
oh wow, wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I got a good woman. She's from Kansas. Everybody should get a partner from Kansas. That's what I tell people.
Oh, yeah?
Very easy to impress. No, I mean, really, she's from a town of like 90 people. I show her a 4-story building. She's like, how'd they get up there? I'm like, elevators, baby. I'm going to show you the world, No, she's great. We're really excited, man.
Good.
Room. Tom's there, and we have another guest, Derrick Stroup. Great to meet you, Derrick. The listeners are writing in.
Oh, awesome.
Many listeners want to know what that cologne you're wearing is. That's right.
Yeah.
They can smell it.
No, man. I was already given a warning about this. They were like, we didn't book you the normal way. These guys hate cologne. I even went in to the bathroom and wiped myself down with towelettes for you very interesting people in here. My goodness. No, when you hop into a cab in New York City, I bet you love the smell. You go, now this is natural. This is what I was looking for.
I have like a weird allergy to it.
Yeah, no, he was telling me, I mean, and I go, I'm the worst person to miss this email because I love cologne. I mean, I put on cologne to take out the trash. I love cologne.
Is this a Southern thing?
I don't know if it's a Southern thing. My grandfather wore a lot of cologne, and when I was a little kid, he came and stayed like a week at our house, and he slept in my room, and I remember when he left, my pillow and my bed smelled like his cologne for like 3 weeks, and I loved it. I was like, I want to wear what he wears, and so I just started wearing cologne at a really young age. It was kind of one of those.
I went out and bought the cologne my dad used to wear.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, the smell, I think almost more than like seeing something takes you back to like, I can still like smell like my grandmother's like boudoir. Remember old school women that would have like the triangular mirror and there would be powder and stuff on it, just to smell the baby powder. Like, I remember
What
that.
did your dad wear?
He wore Lagerfeld.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that was, you have to kind of get it from the website.
Right.
But that's the only cologne that I really own.
But will you guys cologne up before you're on like a plane?
Look, he's like looking out for other people like him. He's like, you sit next to people. I'm going to tell you, you're going to hate my answer. I put on cologne for all situations. I got in my head. One time I saw this reel that came on, and this guy was blasting men that put on cologne to go to work with men.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't wear it thinking like that. I just wear it to smell good. But like, I mean, I've done some blue collar jobs, and if I'm going to cut grass, your boy's going to smell good while he's on the lawnmower. Yeah.
All right.
And what is the name of your cologne?
Well, I have to say, lifelong Intuition fan by Estee Lauder, but they recently discontinued that, which is heartbreaking. Y'all wouldn't understand.
But we've all been there with deodorant, shampoo.
Yeah, and Dolce & Gabbana, the one is what I have on right now. So,
see, I see it as a form of bullying.
Yeah,
you're wearing
I can tell.
Yeah, it's a real.
So, Derrick, when you were young and you liked your grandfather's cologne, was it weird being the only third grader wearing English leather?
No,
to the school?
One time, all my friends, they invited me kind of last minute to go to a movie. My mom said I ran inside, went into the bathroom, took all my, you remember that polo green?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I mean, that's what my grandfather wore. And she said I just took the top off and I just dumped it all over my body. And she said when I came out of the bathroom, like nobody could be within like 30 yards. I missed the movie and she made me soak in vinegar. Yeah. And then I looked it up and vinegar doesn't even help in that situation. Wow. Back in the day, listen, back before the internet, parents, we just did like home, you just guessed.
Yeah.
You didn't get to Google, my son smells like cologne. You go, I just poured apple cider vinegar, lay down in it for a little bit.
Somebody's like, I think this is for bee stings.
Or
Yeah.
for skunks.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
Is this the kind of cologne that you spray it in the air and walk through it, or is this like a liquid you smear on?
I think that women spray in the air and walk through
Yes,
it.
that's exactly
I
right.
think men spray directly. So I'm going to step back and spray. And I mean, this is maybe a big moment for me where I can be more conscious of the people that are around me. Because now in hindsight, if we saw maybe a smash cut of my life, there's all these people around me like, who in the, what is,
Ladies and gentlemen, taking the stage, Derrick Stroup.
Yeah, and then there's one woman from Kansas that goes, I don't know, I like it. I've never smelled anything like that.
That's what you want. And honestly, like, Derrick, I think I relate to you clearly more than anybody else in this room. Like, being a black dude, getting ready to go to the club with other black men, it was ironing clothes and putting on cologne and getting your hair right with your waves. But there is a male grooming routine, and I feel like the cologne is part of it.
For sure.
It's just, that's why you were like, even when I went to work, it's like almost like a finishing thing.
It is.
I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah, sometimes I'll forget to put it on, and I'll be going out, and I'm like, I don't have the juice right now, man. I don't have that thing that makes them go, oh, okay. Your boy Stroup over there.
So your fiance, she digs the.
She must.
Yeah. He said she must.
No, I mean, but
Clearly.
Christy and I were talking about this.
Yeah.
You want whatever your girl says smells good or bad, you go with what she says.
Right.
No, I agree. And that, I mean, there's been times where she's like, I don't love that shirt on you, and that'll damage you. You'll go, well, I mean, you're the only, I mean, your opinion, carries a lot of weight, and
You'll just wait till you're married and you go out with her and she says, get this shirt. You get it the next time you have it on. She goes, I don't like that shirt on you. And you go, but wait a minute, you picked it. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
can't.
my life. Derrick Stroup is our guest. You're getting married real soon. I got to say one more thing. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, you're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee at the Ryman.
Ryman Auditorium. Such a historic, cool place to.
With, among others, Ryan Hamilton.
Yeah, Ryan Hamilton,
One of my
Dustin
favorites.
Nickerson. Yeah, some really funny folks. We're going to be on that show. So excited. It's Nate Land Presents, part of Nate Bargatze's production team, and also part of Nashville's Comedy Fest. So thanks for mentioning that. It'll be a lot of fun.
I have not heard it, but you have a comedy album called Eating Dinner Twice.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it is available everywhere. I released it last year on Larry the Cable Guy's record. So yeah, that's a fun one for sure.
I love that.
Get Her Done Records.
That Get Her Done Records.
That's right. Now, we were just talking off the air about something, and Derrick coughed up this trivia fact.
Okay.
He mentioned that he just moved to New York City.
Correct.
So I asked him, do you have a car? Because keeping a car in New York City, which I have done, and it's not worth it. But you told me you don't drive at all.
No, I do not drive at all. I haven't drove in 14 years. So I mean, sometimes I'll park the car in the parking lot, and the adrenaline is unreal. Yeah, like we'll get to Cracker Barrel, and I'll go, let me back it in. Just, old time's sake. Let me show you, Big Dog still got it.
So you don't like driving? Or?
No. 14 years ago, in what kind of started my comedy career and changed my life, I got 2 DUIs in 6 months. And I say 6 months because it sounds better than 4. I don't drink anymore. Nobody has to worry about me out there. But I gave up driving. I'd never even had a speeding ticket in my life, and I had those two incidents happen, and it just kind of shell shocked me. And I just gave up driving immediately, and I gave up drinking about 4 years ago. But what's funny is, okay, y'all get it. But listen, what's funny about this is I tell this story about a year ago. I'm out on tour with Bert Kreischer, and we're sitting on his bus, and he goes, "Hey, man, how does somebody from Harvest, Alabama get into comedy?" And I tell him this story. I tell him about the DUIs and what type of position it put me in and how it changed my life. And I tell him at the end, I go, and, I haven't drank in 4 years. I haven't drove in 14. And Bert's looking at me, and he puts out his cigar. And if y'all know anything about cigars, that's quite the commitment. And he goes, "Man, I've heard a lot of DUI stories." And he goes, "They never end this way." He goes, "They all end the same way. They all end with, 'Hey, Bert, I have not drank in 14 years. He goes, "You just looked at me and said you have not drove in 14 years. He goes, "Derrick, I think you're the first person I've ever met that gave up the vehicle and not the booze." and he's so right, because at the time I can remember thinking, this Jim Beam's not the problem. This Camry's bad luck. I was like, I'm very good at drinking. They just get mad every time. I mean, the Camry's a V6. I don't know what they're mad at. It's a decent vehicle, but 14 years haven't.
But living in a rural area.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That was the toughest part. Only a couple years in a rural area, and then I moved to Denver. And I lived in downtown Denver, just a few blocks from Coors Field for a decade, and Uber and Lyft and all that definitely made that possible. Yeah.
Okay, that all kicked in because I know a couple people that don't drive, and it's not
It
easy.
seems freeing.
Yeah.
It does, in a
If
way.
you live in the right place, it seems very like.
Oh, if you live in a place where you can walk everywhere, or if you're in New York and you can take the subway or whatever, that's great.
Yeah, New York is a different beast. I mean, in Denver, I only Ubered and Lyft, and I'll be honest. I mean, Al will know this. Denver is a scooter city.
Yes.
And so you can run your errands and live your life in downtown Denver on a scooter. I know it's hard to wrap your head around, but you can. Now, it doesn't, when I'm leaving the grocery store and I have 7 bags on the handles, it doesn't look like I'm doing great. I'll be honest. I'm doing better than I look when I'm holding a gallon of milk headed down Broadway.
You got to get 2 to balance it.
Yeah.
Two of
I got
everything.
1 gallon. I'm just doing circles. King Soopers parking lot. Somebody buy another gallon.
Now, are you a cook? You're a man of a certain size. You played football.
Yeah.
Do you cook for yourself?
Yeah, I love to cook. I mean, I'm not somebody that I don't do any complicated recipes. I'm a crock pot guy, pretty easy stuff. But I learned how to cook at a young age because, I mean, I've been a big guy my whole life, and I can remember at a young age my mom being like, "If you're going to eat at this rate, you're going to have to make some stuff." So I can remember being like 7 years old, being like, "I think the bologna's ready to be flipped." So I've been cooking for a while. I like to eat more than I like. Like, I watch a lot of chefs on TV, and I don't really pay attention to the recipe. I'm there for the finished. Yeah, exactly. I want to see that bite. Yeah.
Oh, so you watch those cooking shows like I watch porn. I just fast forward to the end.
Yeah. That's
I just want the money.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Now,
Yeah.
do you eat any unusual food? Any unusual Southern type stuff that you miss?
No, I mean, I tell people I'm a sodium guy from way back. I love salt. I wish I wasn't, man.
So
Sometimes
does he.
I love it. Sometimes I'll buy bologna and just suck on it. I want to get done eating dinner and take off my socks. It looks like I still got them on.
Derrick.
Hey.
Middle-aged fella, 40 years of age.
40
Is that
years of
middle-aged
age.
technically? No, I guess not.
I mean, I guess so.
Not really.
What's life expectancy? Around 80? I'm probably halfway there.
You think you're going to make it to 80?
Not a chance.
I know.
I'm going to have a heart attack while I'm weed eating around my tomato plants.
All that salt. Now, you're a Southern guy. Are you a smoker?
I'm not a smoker.
Do you do
I
any
was
of the,
raised by 2 people that smoke. I tell people these days we should bring smoking back. We were better people when we did it, And I mean, I believe that. And we smoked them at the wrong time. We smoked them when I feel like the world was great, when brick homes were $60,000, healthcare was affordable, Now we need Marlboros now, Well, this is what I tell. Here's my real. If you're going to take away mental institutes, you can't have $21 cigarettes. You got to have $4 Marlboros if there's no nut houses. Okay. You bring back the nut houses, we'll go $30 Marlboros. But you can't. We're fighting for our life out here. Okay? I mean, we got to give cigarettes back to people that need. Y'all remember back in the day, you'd see somebody outside of a gas station walking in small circles, smoking a cigarette. Oh, sure. You knew to give them a minute. You know? They were trying not to go to jail. I believe wholeheartedly about. I'm not talking about bringing back to restaurants, but people. You go on a walk and look around. People need cigarettes, not vape pens. You get vape pens, it happens too fast. You get to that cotton candy immediately. A Winston 100, you're going to figure some stuff out. You know what I mean?
Bravo.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So true.
Yeah, man. I believe that. I don't smoke, but I've seen the magic of cigarettes, and people that haven't been around cigarettes, they've never seen a cigarette save Thanksgiving, because it happened. No, y'all have seen it happen, man. Aunt Barbara was about to say something that was going to turn that dining room upside down, but now she's out on the screen porch making a business decision. You know what I mean?
Somebody's out there talking to her.
Yeah, going, hey, Barbara, they don't mean that. Yes, they do, Tammy. They say this every year, Tammy. She's always been like that. You know that.
That is the realest thing.
That's great.
I saw a black woman in her yard. I was at a stoplight a couple months ago. I saw this black woman in her yard in a house dress. She was watering her grass and smoking a cig at like 9 in the morning. And I was like, that is the most relaxed human being. I just stared at her in awe.
That is the realest thing.
Yeah. All the things we worry about, and my wife, and I got a text, and next she was just like out there smoking a cig, watering her grass.
She's ready for anything the world has to offer that day.
I was so jealous of her. I still think about her.
That's a perfect visual.
Yeah.